as we started yesterday, and maybe some of you missed this, we don't want you to worry about how you could never be Jeremiah or Ilise or Steve Slonwhite or whoever is here speaking. I could never be where they are. Well, we have news for you. We all started somewhere. They all started somewhere. So what we decided to do this year is show their 20-year-old selves and talk about where they were when they started out and thought about becoming somebody in the world. And a lot of times they weren't copywriters, they weren't even in communications, they were doing something totally different. So here's our Ilise Benun in the red stripe, awesome 70s groovy outfit. And here's what she told us. She said, I thought I would follow my parents into the fashion industry, note my outfit. But the fashion job only lasted a year and a half. I quit to become a waitress at a French restaurant in New York. Woohoo. So in 1988, because I was too young to know how to quit, I got myself fired from my second job. Don't ask how, unless you're in the bar later, maybe. And decided I would never work for anyone else ever again. I'd make it on my own. I didn't have any idea how, but that was 30 years ago, and the rest is history. And now she's going to show you how you can do it too. Welcome, Ilise Benun.
Good morning, everyone. So I'm so glad you're here, and I'm so glad you're awake. Raise your hand if you're awake. Awesome. I love being first. I'm going to talk really fast. I hope you don't mind. I have a feeling that's going to create a little curiosity gap. And I want you to know that if you have the paperwork for this presentation, it's kind of out of date, because last night after Andrew Davis's presentation, I just revamped everything. And then I got up this morning and did it again. So there is an updated PowerPoint, and you'll see the link on my slides, and I'll point it out, and you'll be able to get that newer version. But I was so inspired by Andrew and some of the things he was talking about because they directly relate to what I'm going to talk about too, and that is how to find and reach your dream clients. How many people are interested in that? That's why you're here. But I have all different other alternate titles for this talk. I took out a few of them because I didn't have time for them now. But one of them is how to sell while learning and learn while selling. How many people like to learn? That's why you're here, right? You want to learn and you want to do something with what you learn. And I think there's a way to market yourself and learn and market yourself in a much easier, less, let's say, slimy way than you might otherwise think you have to do, because a lot of people don't like self-promotion for whatever reason. I happen to love it. But I have come up with this way to learn while selling, and that's what I'm going to explain to you today. So in my 30 years of being basically an unemployable person, so I had to make it on my own, I just accepted that. What I have learned is that marketing works in very specific situations. And one of the conditions for marketing to work is when you know exactly who you are looking for, and you know exactly where to find them, and you know what they need to hear in order to trust you, and you make that the core message of your marketing and your content marketing in particular. That's when marketing works. All right? It's very simple. That's what you have to know. It takes a long time, 30 years sometimes, to figure that out. Okay, so which marketing tools should you be using? So every year I distill the marketing plan even further and refine it into something simple. So for 2019, the marketing plan is the 3 most effective marketing tools. The first one is strategic networking. All right, not old-fashioned networking, not business card exchanges, not the local chamber of commerce even. Strategically knowing who your clients are, who your ideal clients are, and going where you can find them. That's strategic networking. Number 2, targeted outreach, sometimes referred to as warm email prospecting, but it's not just email. It's reaching out in a very targeted, sometimes I say hyper-customized, super personalized way to do your homework and say something that will get someone to respond, because the big thing is getting them to respond, and they don't usually respond right away, all right? So very targeted outreach gets a response. And number 3 is content marketing with what I call high quality pain point content. And that's what I'm going to especially talk about today. Content marketing with high quality pain point content. But the idea here with the plan is that you take these 3 tools and you integrate them together. So it's where networking and outreach meet content marketing and ideally featuring your ideal clients. All right, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. But the thing you need to understand is that content marketing is perfect for copywriters. You create content for your clients. You need to know how to create content for yourself. And the future of marketing is content marketing. How many people have noticed that? That is the direction it is going. That is because of attention. Our attention is fragmented, and people want to know only the things that are going to be relevant to them. And content, look at that, is information that is relevant and useful to your clients, right? It's not about you. And the biggest problem people have with self-promotion and marketing is that it's about them. They don't see that it has to be about your clients. It has to be about the pain points of your clients, all right? That's what I'm going to focus on. So once you choose the marketing tools, and I'm recommending strategic networking, targeted outreach, and content marketing, then you have to figure out which formats. So for content marketing, I've identified 2 types of formats. The first one I call basic formats, and that is a basic email newsletter and or a blog. That's where you start with content marketing. Email newsletter and or blog. Raise your hand if you have one of those, or both of them even. Okay, so a few people are on the road, all right? Then, building on that, there are so many advanced content marketing tools, all right? And I've listed just a few of them here. Guest blogging, ebooks, articles, books, speaking, webinars, video, podcasting, online courses, putting on live events, case studies, white papers. No wonder people are overwhelmed, right? It can be totally overwhelming. And I'm not recommending all of those. You have to choose which ones are best to reach your ideal clients, all right? And that takes research. And then you have to decide what style of content. So I've identified 2 different styles of content, and this is really the heart of it. There's what you call standard content, which is, again, what you know about what you do, which is copywriting. But that's not the best kind of content. Pain point content is the most effective type of content. It's what you know about your ideal client's pain points. Another way of saying it is the difference between here's what I know and here's what I know you're struggling with. Which do you think they would be most interested in, right? It's kind of obvious, but it's hard to see when you're in you. You have to look at it from your client's point of view. And then, of course, how do you find pain points? All right? Here's where I started changing things. Curiosity. And Andrew last night was talking about the curiosity that you create in your readers, in your prospects, in your clients. I'm talking about your own curiosity, because you cannot create a curiosity gap for your readers unless you practice curiosity. How many people consider themselves curious? Excellent. So you're well positioned to use curiosity as a marketing tool. Have you ever heard of that? Use curiosity, your own curiosity, as a marketing tool. That means become a business detective. And here's my favorite detective, Columbo, with his adorable dog. I'm dating myself, but please. I love Columbo. And I really think if you think of yourself as Columbo when you're doing your marketing, you're becoming a business detective. You're using curiosity. You're asking questions. All right? That is a much better way to get into conversations with the people who you can help. They just don't know it yet. All right? So let's step back a little bit. What are pain points? So anyone remember Sarah, the interior designer? So last night, Andrew did not focus on the part that I thought was the most interesting in her video. And I'm not going to play the video, but I just put in the caption there the thing that she said that I thought was most effective, which was, I hated it so much I would send out an invoice for months. I wouldn't send out an invoice for months after I'd done the work. It got to be embarrassing, right? She's doing the work, but she hated bookkeeping and invoicing so much that she just wouldn't invoice people. And that is embarrassing. And it's also not good for your income. How many people have done that? Okay, wait, don't raise your hand about that. But I'm telling you, it is a very common problem. And FreshBooks definitely solves that problem for people. But that is a pain point, right? That is a pain point someone can solve if they address it, all right? I want to use my blurb, this is the description for this presentation, as an example of how to find pain points and how to use pain points. So here it is, how to find and reach your dream clients. So how to become a business detective and learn to identify the pain points you can cure with copywriting. The pain point there is you can't find the pain points. You see that? So what I'm teaching is the answer to the pain, the cure for that pain that you're not sure how to find the pain points. All right, here's the next one. How to build relationships and cultivate trust by association. The pain point is you're unsure how to build relationships or with whom. This will solve that problem, right? So you're kind of working backwards. The third bullet, how to create content that will attract your dream client. The pain point is you're not sure what kind of content to create, right? So I know your pain points, and my content, this is me content marketing, right? Doing content is in response to your pain points. Is that clear? Okay, good. So how do you find their pain points, your ideal client's pain points? Okay, the most obvious, ask. All right? It is not difficult to ask. And you can do this tomorrow at job fair. You're going to be talking to prospects. Instead of talking all about you, why don't you ask all sorts of questions about them and their pain points to reveal their pain points, right? Not only do you get really good information, it shows you care. Because you do, right? All right. So the questions to ask, and these are just a few examples off the top of my head. What keeps you up at night? What are your biggest marketing challenges? And what would you do if you had more time? All right, I see people writing things down, which is great, but I just want to point out that at the top of the screen on every page here is the place where you can download this PowerPoint, right? gettalk.at/bootcamp2018. gettalk.at/bootcamp2018. All right, 3 ways to find their pain points. Number 2, listen. What do they complain about? Overhear them, eavesdrop on them complaining. What questions do they ask you? What problems do they come to copywriters with? What problems have they had with other copywriters? This is a really important question to ask. What was it about the last copywriter that you used that didn't work out very well? That is a perfect pain point for you to build your content marketing on, right? And one of the very common ones is flakiness, flaky freelancers. I'm serious. This is one of the biggest pain points many clients have of all different types of freelancers. So if you can be the freelancer who is not flaky, you're golden. And talk about how unflaky you are. The third way to find their pain points is to search for them. And this takes some creative searching sometimes, but where do they go to complain? You know, people are constantly complaining on the internet. Just go find where they're complaining. Those are their pain points, all right? What issues are being addressed at their events? That's why I used the blurb for my session here as an example of pain points, because events are all about solving problems, and the topics at conferences are all about the pain points. So, here's a question. What is the -- most common and most painful pain point today? And let's stipulate for corporate, small business people who are going to hire you to write. Call it out. What's the biggest, most common pain point? Can't find good writers? Not exactly. Actually, that is one, but that's not the biggest one. What's that? Time? Here's a curiosity gap, right? You're guessing. I'm making you wait. I'm not going to tell you yet. No, I didn't have time to really build in the curiosity gap. So I'll tell you. We have too many demands and not enough time. I can't tell you how many times my clients tell me that their clients can't even respond to their email messages because they have too many demands and not enough time. That's their biggest problem. It's not even not enough money. It's not enough time to focus. There is total corporate chaos out there. Perhaps some of you are coming from jobs where that is the case, right? Don't raise your hand. But that is what's happening. Things are moving more quickly, and these corporate people cannot even focus long enough to give the job to the copywriter or the designer. So how can you help them solve that problem? That's a question. That could be the focus of your content marketing. Here are some more common pain points. Their product is complex and their customers are confused. How can you solve that problem? Their customers are buying from the competition. How can you help them solve that problem? Their website is outdated and embarrassing. That is a big problem. And they don't even know how embarrassed they are, but they know they're not sending people to it. If you said, "Is your website embarrassing?" They might go, "Oh, yeah, actually it is. We need help with that." Right? So they may not even be aware of some of these pain points. They've had bad experiences with unreliable copywriters. I talked about this already. This is also very common. Unreliable, maybe people who don't know enough, maybe people who are only doing it on the side because they don't have enough time. How can you say, this is how I'm going to be reliable, no matter your circumstance? All right? I will be the reliable copywriter. That could be the name of your business, the reliable copywriter. Why not? It's out there. Anyone can have it. Here's some more pain points. These are quotations from people. We need a copywriter who can think strategically. Can you think strategically? Because copy isn't just write the words, it's what's the concept, right? That's what you're learning. So if you identify that you can think strategically and help them with that, that can solve one of their pain points. We need someone we can trust. This is universal, right? Everybody needs someone they can trust. So how do you show instead of tell, "Oh yeah, you can trust me"? You have to show that you can be trusted. And there are lots of really simple ways to do this through your marketing, through your targeted outreach. You respond promptly. That's key. You do what you say you will do. These are kind of no-brainers, but you'd be surprised how many people are not doing this, right? You meet deadlines. Thank you. If they say, "We need this yesterday," you say, "I'm sorry, that's not possible. Tomorrow is possible. Yesterday is not possible," right? Tell them what is possible. Don't try to meet their wishes. Tell them what is possible. Communicate regularly. A lot of people are afraid to over-communicate, but if you are in a business relationship with someone, you need to be communicating regularly. That is how they know to trust you. Don't be nervous or reluctant to do that. Following up and following through, all right? These, again, are obvious things that professionals do, and so many people don't do them, and that's their pain. Your content, your marketing can be all in response to their pain points. It's not about the work. It's about how you work.